In Wayne County, state championships come in multiples. Travis Sullivan, 3-timer. Chris Floyd, 2-timer. And today, our good friend Cagen Wallace joins us to review his state championships. And of course, this is his senior campaign, 2018. Sir, tell us about the mentality you had as a junior. You won it. You 57-0. You cleaned the weight class out. Nobody could touch you. Coming back as a senior, what is the mentality? What's your thought process on going into your senior year?
So going into the senior year is pretty similar mentality, except this time much bigger target on the back. Wrestle tough, wrestle smart, and once again, I can do whatever I feel that I want to do. So if I want to win every match, then I'm going to go and do that. So that's kind of the mentality, especially coming off an undefeated season, and wrestle smart, wrestle the way that I know I can, and most of the time it works out.
I 100% agree with you. And we've asked multiple times state champions this question. I think it's good to get different perspectives on it. Like we asked Ben Barton his question, a couple other, just off the top of my head, I know he's the multiple time we done recently, is Scott Cooper, same way, did you feel like this is my title to defend? Like you hear, the boxing analyst, MMA analyst will say you're not the champ till you defend it. You can win the championship belt, but you're not technically the champ until you beat somebody challenging you for your title. So did you feel like I'm the champ, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather's in the house, or do you feel like I got to go win another one? I have to go out and do it again instead of like trying to defend it.
Definitely the second option there. It's, clean slate every year, records reset. Just one thing wrestling's taught me, especially match to match, is it's 0-0. At the start of every match, just because you've won a state championship doesn't automatically put you in the finals the next year. So
that's true.
Definitely a clean slate year after year and match after match. So that was kind of my mentality: go match at a time and see if I can defend the title or not.
I completely understand. So you mentioned clean slate. You mentioned starting all over again. I mean, coming back as a senior, 2018, there's no hiding you. You know what I'm saying? Between track wrestling, social media, the way it was, everybody knew whenever you rode into a gym, hey, Cagen Wallace is here today. Did you feel like, and I love asking this question because we usually get one of two answers. Did you feel like everywhere you went, every match, you got everybody's, like, you were their Super Bowl, to use a Coach Calipari phrase, like they're giving you 135,000% and they're going to be able to say forever they scored on you, or they were able to, get a near fall count on a return to state champion? How did people like give you their best, or did they wilt whenever, you threw them once or put them on their back and they, just held them? Kind of walk us through that, because that's a great story to tell.
I think a lot of it depends on, the individual. Some of them, freshman, sophomore, since I was a lower weight class, there were, freshmen and sophomore in that weight class for sure. But some of them probably didn't even know who I was. And some of them you could tell knew who I was.
Yeah.
Because like an old flower, they just kind of wilted away. But then obviously, there were upperclassmen that I've wrestled with for, 3 years at this point, and they had the same mentality I did. It's wrestling; anything can happen, and if I can beat this guy, I'm going to beat him. So I would say there was more fight back than wilting away, but that's just nature of the beast when it comes to the sport. So
I got you. I got
you. A lot.
And doing the research, not my number, but what track has, it's got your record at 45-2. Is that correct?
It was 40 something and 2. I remember
Okay.
I've got my state ring with the record on it, but
You have to send us some photos. That way we can add them into because everybody loves to see those, the medal photos, the ring photos. Those are great to have. So let's start though with your state tournament first round. Again, another less than a minute pin in your first round. Luke Fullerton from Fern Creek, you win that by a 41-second pin. So, the champs in the house. You know what I'm saying? Champs,
right.
let everybody know they're there. The second round, you're wrestling Eli Payton from McCracken County. You win that by a 1-5 pin. But the thing about Eli is he transfers to Paducah Tillman. He becomes the 2022 state champion, and he's now currently wrestling University of the Cumberlands. And his 2022 match review is on the channel. So after you watch this, go back and watch Eli's if you'd like. The quarterfinals, you're wrestling Jacob Grandstaff from Connor. You win that by a 1-30 pin. And Jacob goes on to get 7th place that year. And if I'm not mistaken, his brother Sam won 106, 113 pounds that year from Connor. So the Grandstaffs, and they, as of this filming, they officiate. So, man, they've been in wrestling, feels like forever too. You get to the semifinals, you're wrestling Brad Miller. I think that's Brandon's twin, if I'm not mistaken, correct? And you win that by a 10-4 decision. Of course, Brad is from Taylor County, and Brad goes on to get 3rd place. So of 5 matches that you've had, not counting the championship match, but you've wrestled 3 placers. 7th, no, I'm sorry. You wrestled 2 state placers, the 7th and the 3rd place. Of course, Eli goes on to win state championship in 2022. So you're in the finals for the 3rd straight year. You're wrestling Gabe Adams from Union County. Now, had you wrestled Gabe before?
Oh yeah, he beat me midway through the year at national, or not national duels, state duels.
State duels.
So,
I think I might have been at that state duels officiating. I don't think I had that duel, but I think I was there that year. That was at Lindsey Wilson, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay. I thought I was, because there was a span, because where we had 2 classes, they would be like a pool of officials that would do large school only, and there was a pool that would do like small school. And I don't remember which one I was on that year, but I feel pretty confident I was at that one. So you're wrestling Gabe. He beat you earlier in the year, and it's WrestleMania 5. The Mega Powers explode. Got Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage going at it. Coming into this match, did you know? Okay, he got me once, but it is not happening again.
Yeah, I had a totally different mindset than halfway through the season. It kind of converted from still riding that high horse. I know I took a early season loss to Thomas Deck, very first weekend back, and that kind of set me back a little bit. And then took the loss to Gabe halfway through, and really had to focus on my mentality and what I'm telling myself 24/7 on, am I going to be what I want to be? So definitely a little bit of a setback there in the middle of the year, and it just proved to sharpen my focus and really make sure that I was putting the work in that I needed to.
And Thomas, he was a 3-time state champion, 18, 19, and 20. He was the most outstanding wrestler in 2020. So, I mean, I'm not saying losing to Thomas isn't, something to be shocked at, but I mean, sometimes Superman can bleed, you know what I'm saying? And it's good though to know that, if I don't focus myself, if I don't do what I can do, and I'm not going to be a 2-timer. I'm not going to get back on top of that podium again. So sometimes taking a loss early in the year can be a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
I forget who it was. It escapes me. We've done so many of these, but there was the returning. It was a heavier weight state champion from it'll come to me, I'm sure, at some point. And they said they got beat in the championship of like a, just a weekend tournament somewhere. And he said, I couldn't wait to get back out on the mat. I just wanted to see somebody of a different color singlet that wasn't my teammate, because I know for one of my friends, it wouldn't go so well. And he said, I got out on that mat, and I think he, like, 5 second a throw, just I had to get that out of my system. So sometimes, man, taking a loss can bring you back in, align you to where you need to be. So have you seen your 2018 video in a while?
Probably not in a few years, but
Okay.
I was fortunate enough. Dad always had the iPad running on every match, so we could, take that back Monday and work on some fundamentals and just watch.
And this was one of the years that I had to do some scrounging on, and I was able to find the 2018 year. So if you guys are seeing the list of the state championship videos that I do have, if you have a year or matches from a year that you're not seeing, please reach out to me. I would love to get them and have them for our collection. So far, we have 31 complete years. We have 4 partial years. And when I say partial, we're missing 2 or 3 matches here or there from a year. And then 2016, we have all the highlights. We have highlights of all the placement matches. We only have a couple full matches. So any years that I miss them, please reach out. I'd love to have them. About 36 of the 60 years, man, on video. This is the largest collection of state tournament videos in existence. And the more that we find, the more videos we can do with guys like Cagen and just be able to tell more stories. 120-pound weight class. We're back here again at the Horse Park in Lexington, right off I-75 as you're going at the Fayette-Scott County line. So this is your 3rd time in the finals. This will be the last time you ever wear a Wayne County uniform, a Wayne County wrestling. And this year, we'll go ahead and kind of spoil it. You're wearing the like the MMA style shorts and the compression shirt. Was that something like that you wanted to do as a senior, or something that the team decided, or kind of walk us through that?
So I believe we were pretty low on numbers. The graduating class ahead of me had a few in it, and we didn't really have anyone coming in as freshmen wanting to be on the team. So as a very strategic idea, coach got the 2-piece singlets and tried to get some football players and some other people to come out. And for the most part, I think it worked.
Yeah. That is one of the great rule changes. Let's face it, it's hard for, especially if you didn't grow up in wrestling, wearing a singlet. It's easy to make the jokes, it's easy to say it, but the fight short and the compression top makes it feel more like what you'd see on like MMA, professional wrestling, whatever. And not everybody's comfortable with their body like that. Like I say, especially if you don't grow up as a kid, just wearing that's the uniform that you had to wear.
Right.
And so it's good though that more people can be included. Like I said, if you don't have the best body image or whatever. But let's go back to the Horse Park, man. Let's watch you win this second one.
Cagen Wallace, let's get on.
So it kind of picks up about a second into it. You guys are hand fighting there, shoot in, single. You got Brents as the assistant. I love this right here. You got Catan as your head official. And that was a senior maneuver right there, fellas. That was a big boy wrestling maneuver. Now, when you have him right here in this, I know you're looking for a fall, but is it more like, no, big boy, I've got more to do. You're not getting out of this that quick.
Well, Gabe's a pretty solid wrestler, and he earned his way off his back. But I was kind of relieved after that because, there was a lot more wrestling to do left in this match, and that absolutely happens.
So you're trying like a bar there on the back, reaching through. The tip line over at the Kentucky State Police Most Wanted is going to be ringing off the hook, seeing all those officials in the background. Kentucky's Most Wanted. So in the match where he beat you, was it a decision?
I believe it's a 2-1 decision.
Okay.
Yeah, it was super close. Middle of the year once again, and I always had a hard time staying in good conditioning. So
Right.
most of the
So
matches were, 1 minute or less pins, and I just
yeah.
didn't have the mat time to stay in good condition.
So he's going to take down. Trapping an arm there. It's like you were trying for a cradle, but he was able to, make himself long, get out of it.
Yeah.
Lift on the leg. Nice job. Nice trip there. Out of bounds. Out of bounds. Get out of the way, Joe. There you go.
Pretty solid hand fighter on bottom. Is
I was going to say he's done a really good job right there.
Yeah, definitely really good at hand fighting and putting his body where it needed to be able to score.
So you see your opportunity right here. You step over the head. Get that other leg over. And there it is, man. 3 minutes and 14 seconds. You cap your career 2-time state champion. You get a pin in the finals. You avenge that loss. Holding up a 2. We have the medal ceremony as well. This is Jacob that you wrestled earlier. Coming to get his medal. And Dylan, you wrestled him the year before. He transferred to Woodford County.
Yep, got that blonde hairdo after that.
Trademark bleach blonde hair.
Yeah.
2018 had some good wrestling as well. I mean, just across the board. There's if you're watching this, you pretty much know that Union County, is a dynasty. They win the team title here. I think they have 14 team championships now. And there you are, man. Getting your medal, getting that. I love those signs, man. That is just so cool to have.
Oh yeah.
Such a little memento, man. Your plaque. Watching that year back, knowing that you were able to avenge a loss earlier in the year, even though you said it kind of focused you, knowing going out last time, high school wrestling, you get a pin over the last person that beat you, has to feel good, right?
Oh yeah.
And, so like I said, does it play out the way you remember it?
That one did. It was relatively quick match, but I remember, being on top, I had to keep that forward pressure and always trying to beat the hand fight with him, because I believe that's how he beat me at state duels, was an escape. He had 2 escapes and I had 1. So
Mhm.
it was a really good match. Just had to make sure to keep the forward pressure, like I said, but getting the pin was just the cherry on top there.
I can believe that. So you're able to stamp your name in the Wayne County history books, 2-timer, and become the, like I said earlier in the other video, the 11th state champion. And in your 2017 video, we kind of mentioned a little bit, but you continued your wrestling career and you went on to college. Tell us a little bit about that for those that don't know.
Yeah, so Coach Corey Ruff, he's the current coach at University of the Cumberlands, but he recruited me while he was at Lindsey Wilson, and Myron Bradbury, another 2-timer, I believe, was the assistant at Lindsey, and they got me in the room and really helped me with a lot of fundamentals, and still kept that Wayne County mindset, and had a rather successful college career. I unfortunately didn't ever get on the podium, but blood rounder and more heartbreak, but
Yeah, well,
lots of lessons learned, and a great time. I had a year where Gabe Adams was there with me, and we helped each other get better on the mat there. And I'm pretty sure we tried to reenact the first little throw in the match, and we both were like dumbfounded because we couldn't get it back. But
that's whenever I was cutting this video down, I was like, I've got to make sure. Was that something that you just kind of made up on the fly, or was that? Is there a technique name for that? It looks like you just have like an ankle and you just like lift and toss. I mean, I was like, what is this, like a secret Wayne County move that nobody knows?
No, I'm pretty sure it was all just feel. I remember his leg felt like it was just locked in that position, and it felt like a pretty good handle. And then I ended up grabbing a far side, meat hook there on his shoulder and just hipped into it.
There it was, man. That's one of the best. I guess one of the best throws in the state finals that I have on video. There's a couple of good ones. Travis has a good one in 05. There's a couple good ones, but I'd have to say, man, that's probably one of the top throws in the state finals. If somebody's got a better one, I'd like to see it. But man, anything to wrap this one up, put a bow on it, on your wrestling career, your time at Wayne County, anything that you'd like to say? Because these videos are for you guys. I'm lucky enough to be able to do it and put it out, but these videos are for you guys.
So one thing I'd say was, you got 4 years of it, and then another 4 if you're fortunate enough to go to college. But take in every moment, every loss, every win. Treat them equally. Walk off the mat the same way, and just really enjoy it, because it does fly. I'm a year or 2 years out of college now, so the past 8 years have been a blur. But looking back on it, I've learned so many life lessons from just wrestling, and fortunate for every single one of them.
And that's, people don't understand just how fast it goes, do they?
No, probably not until you're in our shoes, I guess.
And as of this filming, in about 3 weekends will be my 20th year high school reunion, and I just can't. I was like, what do you mean 20? We just feel like we enrolled as freshmen, all this time ago. But ma'am, thank you for joining me today. I really greatly appreciate it. It's been fun. I know there's other Wayne County guys that live outside of the area. We're going to try. I think Joey Sanders, we're going to try to get with him. So Joey, be looking for a a reach out by me, and we know the rest of the Wayne County contingent is going to, be watching these videos. So if anybody, like I said, can find the only video that I know that I'm missing from Wayne County is Dug Up Church 2001, Travis Sullivan's 06, and Travis Sullivan's 07. And if you have his 08 where he wrestles Corey Spencer, send that one to me as well. I'd love to have that just because of the historical aspect of it. But that's all that I have, Cagen, man. Thanks for joining me. Glad we were finally able to, get sits hooked up, and a lot of things had to happen. A lot of wheels in motion had to take place, but man, we got it, and I'm glad. Great interview for the channel. Ma'am, that's all I got, guys. We'll see you guys on the mats.